throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball.
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, Throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! Welcome, all you Fans Only Sports Network fans, for Game 2 of the Burrillville Holiday Classic here from Levy Ice Rink in Burrillville, Rhode Island. Tonight, this game's matchup between the East Greenwich Avengers and the Cumberland Clippers. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Chris Heatu, joining you today once again to give you live coverage of these 22.5-minute games here from Burrillville, Rhode Island, once again between the East Greenwich Avengers and the Cumberland Clippers. So starting lineups about to be announced for both sides. East Greenwich was the representation in, well, they were on the losing end of the Division I state championship last year, falling to the Bishop Hendrick and Hawks in two very entertaining games. And they look to get themselves back to where they were last year. A lot of departing seniors leaving that team, however, including their goaltender and players like Cam Gaffney. Cumberland, a team that has really kind of come out of nowhere this season and starting off in a very interesting way. So this game will be quite entertaining and might have a lot to tell of what could happen in today's matchup. And for the East Greenwich Avengers, your starting man in the net tonight is number 35, Noah Shaniga. And for Cumberland, this was a team that had sparks last year with some good players like Jacob Lopes and Sam Lopes, including Christian Oliveira, and even Jamie Robbins showing off a lot of talent last season. So Cumberland trying to put itself in the conversation. And the man in net tonight for the Cumberland Clippers, number 29, Jared Johnson. So now we'll take a moment to honor America once again for the playing of our national anthem. And just moments away from the start of this one, we'll give you our first word from today's game sponsors. Today's game is brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com for more information for consultation. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And then finally by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by signing up for RR Elite Recruits today. Go to www.rreliterecruits.com to sign up for more information. And both sides all set to go for Game 2 of the Burrillville Holiday Classic. Once again, we'll be here from the 26th through the 28th, covering all 9 games. 8 more to go. This the second. And if you're interested in staying tuned for more, the following game will be between Ponagansett and Moses Brown. Underway from Levy Ice Rink East Greenwich, they dump it into the zone off the back of Chase Pascalis. And sent around to the point. This one shuffled down, deflected into the protective glass, and sent back the opposite way. Jacob Lopes and the feed up front. Pascalis trying to dump it off back through center, and it's dumped back in off of the 8 of Cameron Smith. Fed up front, and it's deflected into the zone off of Troy Sen. Back to the near side, and now being shepherded back into the Cumberland side of the ice. Oliveira, and this one going to go out of play off the pass intended for Seth Perrin. So we'll face off on the Cumberland side of the ice. 21:45 to go in half number 1. And the Avengers come up with the face-off, shuffled down by the 15 of Peter Dorley. And now coming back up ice, Sean Taylor trying to chase this puck down. And the Avengers clear it back to the near side. This one coming right in front of the net. As a couple of shots from the Clippers, but nothing able to escape past the wickets of Shaniga. Noah Shaniga in the net. That time Sam Lopes trying to chase it down. Taylor trying to feed it to Lopes, and this one going to get deflected off to the near side. Kiernan trying to bring it up, and Kiernan knocked to the floor. This one going to go around the back and flip back up to center. Connor McGill for the Clippers. He'll feed it up front that time, and it's sent away. Cale Dunwoody wraps it around the boards for the Avengers, and it's deflected back into the slot as Jamie Robbins tried to find separation. Couldn't manage to get it cleanly. Sen flips it behind the back, intended for Robbins, and it'll be dumped up front back to center. Oliveira gives it to Sen. Sen at center, and the feed over to Robbins. PJ Casey trying to chase this puck down, and it's still in play. And Oliveira. Puck right in front, and there was a big chance as the Clippers did manage to get a shot off of on Shaniga. Oliveira, another one coming down right in front, and Jacob Lopes couldn't get the puck on the stick. And this one deflected past back to the blue line, and it'll go back into the neutral, actually into the Avengers zone. Wrapped around again. Clippers, they're going to have to clear this one back at center. Some good movement from Joseph Andriozzi, and gives it off to Mike Healy. And this one going into the chest of Johnson. The Avengers' first shot on the net will be a save from Jared Johnson. And for those of you interested in tuning into more of the Burrowville Holiday Classic, go to fansonlysports.com. That's sports with a Z. If you already have a full season high school streaming pass for the winter season, you can tune into every single one of these games. But if you're just interested in tuning into your team's games, we have got you covered there on the single game passes. Once again, go to fansonlysports.com, sports with a Z. That one off of Shanigan as the Clippers continue this offensive pressure. Wrapping around the backside. Arsenal flips it back to center. Jacob Lopes gives it up to Sean Taylor, who dumps it in. And flip back the other way from Kiernan. And this one over the top of the net. And dumped down to Lopes. Behind the back to Kiernan. And Kiernan going to redirect. Going back to Tober. And at the point, Lopes into the slot. And a big save as Jacob Lopes was coming in hot towards Noah Shaniga. And a big save. And going around the backside of the boards. Clippers can't seem to get offense established. The Avengers poke the puck away as the displaced puck continues to not find a home until Colin Rayleigh takes it up for Cumberland. Rayleigh navigating around defenders as Jones got all tied up. This one going to go back towards Johnson behind the net, icing the call with 8:21 to go in half number one. And we'll face off on the Avengers side of the ice. And Avengers come up with the face-off. Healy flips it back to center. Clippers trying to chase the puck down as it goes behind Johnson's cage. Crosser right in front, and that time Pascalis couldn't get the separation or the extension. So no shot able to be taken on net. EG still with one sole shot on goal so far through the first 5 minutes. Back at center. Pascalis stumped back in. Perrin gives it off that time. Chasing the puck down that time is Kiernan. Kiernan redirects. Struggling to get it over to Sonny Arsenal. And Arsenal going to have to come in and help him out. Back to Kiernan. Kiernan had a chance to set up a man right in front of the net. But it's given away. Michael Tober was shadowing the net right in front of the slot. Couldn't come up with it. Tober pass up ice and taken up front now by Arsenal. Arsenal at the dump in. Johnson and icing the call. Game number one, Burrillville took down North Smithfield by a final score 4-3. Very entertaining back and forth. Burrillville able to do its due diligence in keeping up the scoring opportunities and the lead throughout that one. It only was even at one apiece at one point before Burrillville managed to take a 3-1 lead. Wrapped around the far side boards and sent back in the opposite direction. Burrillville, a very talented squad. We only got to see its JV roster perform today, but tomorrow we'll see them get to go in full swing against Moses Brown. That's going to be at the 3:30 game, such as this one. Oliveira giving it off that time to Robbins. Robbins had to come behind the back, and it's clear back to center before it's dumped back in. Dunwoody was the culprit that time. And sent up by Regnente. Back to center. That time Oliveira with the feed over to Lopes. And it's brought down to earth by Kiernan. Trying to tie up Jamie Robbins before the puck goes down over towards PJ Casey. And it's clear back to neutral ice. Lopes. Jake Lopes will redirect. And trying to set up right in front. Avengers have been going back and forth on those backhanded passes into the slot. Haven't been able to have much capitalize. Not enough separation. Clippers defense putting on a tough contest so far. It's dumped around to the opposite side. Still in front, and the Clippers come away with possession. Sam Lopes, that time to Oliveira. And a whistle called for offsides. And so we'll face off back at center. Back at neutral ice. Puck poked into the zone by the Avengers. A good crosser and another crosser that time as Michael Toberg didn't have anybody in the vicinity. Second shot put on Johnson. And it's cleared the opposite way. However, it's just going to come right back, icing your call. We'll give another word from today's game sponsors. Today's game is brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For consultation, go to josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And then by our elite recruits with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports for athletes looking to play at the next level. Be seen by going to RR Elite Recruits today. Go to www.rreliterecruits.com and sign up for more information. Sam Lopes taking it through center into the attacking zone and poked away by the defense. However, the Clippers managed to maintain the possession of the puck. Flips it over to the near side for Taylor, and trying to extend was Liam St. Pierre. And now Jacob Lopes to chase this puck down. Playing keep away from Sonny Arsenal. He loses his control on the skates, but the Clippers defense clears it back to center, and the whistle called. Tripping. It's going to go against East Greenwich and Arsenal, the culprit there. So Sonny Arsenal gives the Clippers their first power play of the game, and 2 minutes will be taken in credit. So 5-on-4 to ensue on the ice. Clippers, this is only the third power play of the tournament. At the point, it's dumped in, and not dumped to the right person, as Jamie Robbins was not in the right position, it appeared, or at least there was some miscommunication. PK gets a free clear. Oliveira. Back over to Robbins. Robbins trying to navigate around Healy, and Healy clears it back to center ice. Lopes. Jake Lopes dumps it around the backside over to Sam Lopes. Continuing to play this keep-away game to Robbins at the point. It traveled across the blue line, offsides. With 1:20 left to go on the power play. And we'll face off back at center. Lopes being told to step out for Oliveira. And the Clippers come up with the face-off. Jacob Lopes from his brother Sam. Flips it around the backside over to PJ Casey. It's Casey defensively is trying to take the puck away. Now Dunwoody behind the cage of Shaniga. A minute remains on the power play, and EG doing its job as they clear it once again. Robbins to chase the puck down by Johnson. Very little shots so far in this first half. And this pass over to Oliveira. Oliveira, a nice deke, but the Avengers do their job to clear the puck once again. Here comes Robbins. Into the attacking zone with 30 seconds remaining on the penalty. And right there, Dorley can't seem to clear the puck away, and so Troy Sen comes up with it for Cumberland. Rifling the shot was Oliveira, but he whiffed on it. And they'll try again, right in front. Shot, score! Sam Lopes setting up Jacob Lopes on the left wing side. And the Cumberland Clippers come up with a power play goal. And they'll take a 1-0 lead to start this one off. So our first score of the game comes off of a power play goal by number 8, Jacob Lopes. And now taking it up here is Chase Pascalis. Back of the net shot. Score on a feed that time. To number 10. That's Joseph Andriozzi. And the Avengers strike back moments later and even it up at 1 apiece. So both teams bring it back to dead even seconds later. Joseph Andriozzi, the culprit there. Only third shot of the game, but it doesn't matter. We're all knotted up. And back into the action. This one going right in front of Johnson. And flipped back over that time. back to center, and back into the Avengers side of the ice. And back into neutral ice, Sonny Arsenal giving it off. Was intended that time for his man Tober. And Oliveira, this one wide to the right that time. And Clippers trying to work it, and another one off of Shaniga. And the puck deflecting away once again off the rebound. Dumped back into the zone to Sen. At the top, Lopes sends it down. And that one deflected off by Robbins. And it'll come back in front of the bench. Arsenal trying to chase this puck down immediately. It's flipped around the back to Kiernan. Kiernan needs assistance from Lenny Kiernan. And now here comes Jamie Robbins. Robbins off of Shaniga. And another big save. Robbins coming down. A lot of Avengers defenders there, and a whistle called. He was clearly sandwiched. And it's probably going to be a cross-check call as Michael Tober is going to head to the box. So the Clippers already have a power play goal in the affair. And they'll have a chance to replicate that production and get a second one. 11:03 left to go in the first half. So they're going to call 2 minutes to a hit to the head. And we'll have a face-off on East Greenwich's side of the ice. This one sent off to the right side. So a hit to the head, the call on the floor for the penalty. Clippers have a chance to create some production at the point, sent down by McGill. Trying to set this one up at the point again. One coming down and bouncing off of, as that was Camden Rennick, or excuse me, that was Seth Perrin. And now trapped down by McGill. McGill flips it over to Perrin. This one shanked a little bit on the pass as it's dumped back into the zone. Matthew Madden trying to play keep away, trying to get it over to Andriozzi, the man who had the goal earlier. And behind the net. Neither side can find a clear. And back to the point to McGill. McGill sending one down a little wide to the right of the net. This one taken in that time by Collette. Matt Collette to McGill. This one to the left now on the shot. Taylor trying to feed him right in front. And a lot of miscommunicated passes, but the Clippers keep it in play. Under a minute, under 50 seconds to go on this power play. And McGill sends it into the glove of Shaniga. And that's another big save. 12-4 the shot differential. Cumberland leading by 8 shots on net. And that type of production only hints potentially at another chance for a goal. The more shots on net. East Greenwich has been able to produce a lot of shots on net, but they've been accurate as they are 3 for 4 on the day. And another glove save by Shaniga. 31 seconds left to go on the penalty. And the face-off taken away. Casey clears it back to center. It's the first clear the Avengers have had on this power play sequence. And here comes Oliveira. Christian Oliveira towards the face-off dot. Will try and cut, redirect. Gives it up to Lopes. Jacob Lopes giving it back to Oliveira. Behind the net to Sam Lopes. Back to Oliveira. Oliveira trying to creep into the back door. And a save, but trapped down at the blue line. And a whistle going to be called. They're going to say it was off. 9 minutes remaining in the first half, and we're dead even at 1 apiece. And off the face-off, it's taken in by Garrett Kearney and given up that time to Dunwoody. This one on the near side. McGill wraps around the back of Johnson's cage. And he'll head back to center. Through center ice. And an intercepted pass coming up with, and off of Johnson's glove. That was Regnanti. And a good chance as Regnanti trying to come up with it. He'll get some help from Cale Dunwoody. Wraps it around the backside. On the near side. Puck's patrolled back to center and dumped back in. Power play expired as the Avengers are back to full strength. And this puck dumped in. Going behind Shaniga's cage. And Lopes bringing it across. Two defenders all over him. He was nearly tripped up, and he tried to cross it to Sean Taylor. Couldn't set up the one-timer properly. And another one coming at Shaniga. And the shots just keep volleying off for the Clippers. Whistle called. As we have a player heading to the box. As this one's going to go against the Avengers for a third straight time. Number 15, Peter Dorley, the culprit. As we'll face off on the Avengers side of the ice. So Dorley called on a trip. For a hold, they'll call it, in fact. 7:42 left in regulation of the first half. And we're back in action. Power play chance for the Clippers. They are 1 for 2. And Shaniga with the save on the 16th shot on net. 1:52 left to go on the power play. And the face-off. As it hits the floor, the Clippers come up with it. Trying to cross it over lazily to Oliveira, and Robin's going to have to come back to center. Over to Jake Lopes. Dumping it in. Shaniga stops the puck down, and it's wrapped around the opposite way by Kiernan. Trying to get a hold of Sam Lopes. Lopes. Behind the net, it's taken away by Casey, and it's flipped back to the opposite way, and whistle's called as a helmet came off on the play. That was the 18 of P.J. Casey. And so we'll do it all over again with 1:24 left to go on the power play. And back in play. Robbins giving over to Oliveira on the one-timer slap shot. It goes wide to the left. McGill being manhandled a whole bunch by Sonny Arsenal. Sam Lopes there to help as it's given off that time for Troy Sen. Back to McGill. McGill flips it over for Lopes, and this one goes out of play. 1:02 remaining on penalties. And the face-off. Hard hits off the face-off win for the Clippers, and Jacob Lopes sends it up to Robbins. Robbins giving it off to Lopes. It's dumped in behind the net, and the Avengers still trouble clearing this one as Sam Lopes keeps it in play. Robbins, back to Robbins. And it's clear back at center. Good shorthanded chance coming as Joseph Andriozzi. And a whistle called. Delayed penalty. It's going to go against number 18. That's P.J. Casey heading to the box. So now 2 men in the box. 33 seconds on the first one and an additional 2 for this penalty. And he's actually going to get ejected. So it's a 5-minute major against PJ Casey, and he's disqualified from the matchup as well. So 5 minutes. This penalty's going to last, ladies and gentlemen, all the way up until 1:17 left in the first half. So EG going to put number 25, Timothy Madden, in the box. And these penalties really going to hurt the Avengers in this one. But the game all tied up, but it gives the Clippers a golden opportunity on this 5-on-3 chance. And then plenty of time on the 5-on-4. We're back in action. McGill sends one off of Shaniga. Still in play. At the point, McGill rifles another one down, and it's deflected off. And cleared by the Avengers back through center. Should be enough time to kill off the first penalty and make it a 5-on-4. Clock continues to run down as it's sent off to the near side. Being shepherded across the blue line. First penalty expires. We're back to 5-on-4 hockey. And given off. And the Avengers clear it back to center. Skating down hard for it is Dorley. Peter Dorley getting ahead. Having some trouble that time as Seth Perron comes on defensively. And the Clippers, they're going to travel up through center, but it's dumped back in. Great move by Mike Healy to dump it in for East Greenwich. 4 minutes on the penalty, on the major, as it's dumped off here for Sean Taylor. Taylor lazily leads Sam Lopes as it went a little too ahead, and it's brought back to neutral ice. McGill, this one wide to the left that time. Oliveira trying to navigate through. Great defense coming from these Avengers, and it's cleared once again. 4 penalties assessed against the Avengers. They've allowed 1 goal against against the first power play. And the lead up front that time for Oliveira. He'll give it over to Jacob Lopes. 3:15 left to go on the major. As this sequence continues. Given off to Sen. Troy Sen. Down to Sam Lopes. Back to Jake Lopes. And couldn't be brought down by Robbins. And he's tripped up. Here comes the delayed penalty. And the whistle will stop play with 4:12. This one going to go against Cumberland. So we're going to be knotted up at 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. However, the Clippers will get 55 seconds of their major power play. As that sends once again number 19, Jamie Robbins, to the box for tripping. 4:12 remaining in the first half. Score knotted up at 1 apiece. One side trying to break through. We're back to dead even hockey at 4-on-4. Still not at the usual numbers for men on the ice. This one flipped over to Sen. Troy Sen navigating through, trying to get around Arsenal and Andriozzi, but it's taken away from Lenny Kierman. Clears it back to center ice. McGill feeds it up to Jake Lopes. Lopes led behind of Sean Taylor, and McGill going to have to redirect. McGill dumps it in, and it's sent back up by Kiernan. And flipped in, dumped in by Andriozzi. That time over to Lopes. Sent over to Sean Taylor. Taylor crossing the blue line. And delayed penalty called once again. It looks like it's going to go on the Avengers. So this one going to be assessed against East Greenwich. Matthew Madden heading to the box for 2 minutes. So still multiple penalties, but it will go to a 4-on-3, I believe. which it will. Correction, 4-on-4. So remain 4-on-3, in fact. Clippers with the extra man advantage. And this one to Jake Lopes. Lopes rifling one, and Shaniga makes the stop. And still waiting. And off the face-off, Lopes takes it away for the Clippers. Let that one dangle a little bit. Back to this point. Gives it off that time to Perrin. Back to Lopes. Into the slot. Off of Shaniga. And a good chance for Sam Lopes to make a play. He whiffs to Jake Lopes. Jake Lopes to Oliveira. And nearly dumped in that time by Perrin. As the Clippers hit their 20th shot on goal. Sam Lopes to Perrin. Over to Jake Lopes off of Shaniga. Sam Lopes and Shaniga. Another tough save with 2:32 left to go in the first half. 20 seconds on the penalty against Cumberland. Then in a minute 16 and a minute 14 on East Greenwich. It'll become a 5-on-3 advantage after the 20 seconds expire before we get back to full strength, 2 seconds apart. Clippers come up with the face-off. Perrin to Lopes, sending at Shaniga. Deflects off, still in play. Nearly cleared, but Lopes stops it down, gets it to Perrin. Perrin back to Lopes. Lopes in the slot, the shot wide to the left that time. Sam Lopes now. Clippers are back at full strength. Sam Lopes. Back to Jake Lopes. Or excuse me, Sam Lopes. Now Jake Lopes. Over to Perrin. Perrin crossing it to Sam Lopes. Clock still winding down. Jake to Sam. Sam back to Jake. Over to Perrin. Perrin crossing it to Sam Lopes, who couldn't get set up cleanly for that one-timing attempt. And he gives it off to Oliveira. Oliveira to Lopes. Sam to Jake. Jake coming down. Jacob with the shot off of Shaniga. And they couldn't get the clear. Well, the Avengers get the clear. They couldn't get the wind-up shot. And both Avengers standing up in the box ready to go as we're both under 10 seconds on their penalties. Sen coming across. First penalty expires. Both are now expired. Avengers back to full strength. Behind the net as the period is about to expire. Taking away that time from Pascalis, and it will go back to center in front of the bench. Perrin giving it off that time to Jacob Lopes. They've been on the line. They've been on the ice for quite some time as Sam Lopes dumps it in. Under a minute remaining in the penalty. We're still all knotted up at one apiece. McGill tried to dump it in, and he can't seem to backhand it into the zone. And Oliveira will take it away with Kiernan on his back. As Kiernan separates, Arsenal's all over Oliveira as he brings it back up into center. Ooh, a great stick poke check from John Kiernan. However, the Clippers trying to regain possession as it's dumped away. St. Pierre off to McGill. McGill. And it's deflected off the skates of Sean Taylor as he was coming onto the bench. Referees luckily didn't see that. And back at center. Sent back in the opposite direction. And that'll do it for the first half of action. Shots 24-6 and a lopsiding lead towards Cumberland. But as we hit the break, we're all knotted up at one apiece. We'll take a break and be right back for the start of the second half right here on Fans Only Sports Network. And the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right. Throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone. That is a touchdown.
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
And welcome back to the start of the second half of this contest between the East Greenwich Avengers and the Cumberland Clippers here from the Burrville Holiday Classic at Levy Ice Rink in Burrville, Rhode Island. We'll line it up at 1 apiece once again, a game 2 of 9 here over the course of the next 3 days from Levy Ice Rink. Be sure to tune in to all the broadcasts on fansonlysports.com. That's sports with a Z. Of course, the Prout and Mount St. Charles tournaments to be on there as well. So if you're interested in those tournaments, go check them out once again at Fans Only Sports. But for those of you tuning in today, thank you once again. Happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. And of course, Happy New Year as we approach 2023. Back at center, we are all set and ready to go. And the Clippers come away with the face-off to start things off. And it'll stop very quickly as the puck goes into the bench to stop play. Let's give a word from today's game sponsors. Today's brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For consultation, go to josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And then finally by RR Elite Recruits with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by going to RR Elite Recruits. Go to www.rreliterecruits.com to sign up for more information. And the puck's cleared back into East Greenwich's side of the ice. It's called onside, called cleared by the referees. And it'll come back into neutral territory. Sam Lopes comes up with the possession for the Clippers. Lopes crossing it right in front of, Shaniga. And play will stop. And we'll have a face-off down on the Avengers side of the ice with 21:40 to go. Score still knotted up at 1. It's been a very contested game. However, Avengers haven't even breached the double-digit column on shots on goal throughout the first half and the start of the second half. And the Clippers clear it back to center. Here comes a chance for the Avengers. Matthew Collette can't gain separation around Perrin. Perrin. And now a chance right in front on Johnson. Hard shot that time from Cale Dunwoody. And Avengers can't find the separation, so it's taken up ice that time by Lenny Kiernan. Kiernan flips this one behind Shaniga's cage. And it's dumped back in by the Clippers and sent back in the opposite direction. And icing going to be the call. And trapped down at the point there by Healy. Back to Healy. Healy. And the penalty called on the Clippers. Avengers are on the power play for the duration. 1:42 left to go as it's off to Sonny Arsenal. Arsenal leading Pascalis a little too much, and it's ended up dumped in by Michael Tober. Arsenal flips it back, and it's cleared again by Seth Perrin. And flipped off that time. And dumped forward over to Tober. Tober brings it into the zone as Jacob Lopes finds it. And poke checked away as Andriozzi gets set. Andriozzi down that time to Kiernan. Andriozzi that time to Healy. Healy sending one down in the defense. It goes right to Johnson. Excuse me. And a save. With 54 seconds remaining on the power play. And we'll face off once again down there with 54 seconds to go on the power play. It's taken away there by Sean Taylor. And he clears it back to center ice. Joseph Andriozzi, the puck's first contact, as we're under 45 seconds to go on the power play. Chase Pascalis takes it into the zone. Pascalis looking for a man. He gives it to Andriozzi. Back down to him, to Healy at the point. Healy flipping it off that time for Tober, and it's deflected off of the defense. Andriozzi from Healy, and it goes into the chest of Johnson and stops play with 19 seconds to go on the penalty. Excuse me. And Healy gets the face-off. Andriozzi creeps it over to Healy. Healy flipping it over that time to Tober. Tober rifling it across to Arsenal. Bounced off of Johnson. And the Avengers, one last chance to make a play happen. And the power play concludes. And we're back to full strength. And a great stop right in front by Jacob Lopes as he patrols through center ice. Lopes taken away as Pascalis comes up with it, and he'll clear it back at center ice. And icing going to be the call on the floor with 18:34 left to go. Finally etching their 10th shot of the game is the Avengers. However, neither side can seem to find the crease to take the lead. Lead was taken early by the Clippers. The Avengers answered back seconds later, and we haven't been able to score since. Shaniga already has a shot coming right on net. This one traveling behind the net that time for Dunwoody. And he'll clear it back to center ice. Kiernan trying to skate down hard after it, and it's dumped up by St. Pierre. And flipped up by Hunter Jones. John Kiernan gets it up that time to Cale Dunwoody. Kiernan, puck travel behind his back, and Perrin comes up with it for the Clippers, and he dumps it in. Line change coming for the East Greenwich. And cleared once again back through center ice. Line change coming now for both sides. Sam Lopes flips it on the backside to Jones. And he dumps it in as he's hit hard into the visiting bench. And extra skaters coming out for the Clippers. And the play will be called dead with 17:29 left to go in regulation. So we'll face off back at neutral ice. And Avengers dump this puck into the zone off the face-off win. And Johnson going to glove this puck down. Let's get a word from our sponsors at Precision Home Lending.
Want to close your home purchase or refinance faster? Contact me, David Delbonis, at 401-487-7379, President Precision Home Lending. Trust the experts and we'll make your loan experience amazing.
And back into the hockey action. Avengers trying to set up something right in front, and the defense all over it. However, we're going to get a slashing call on number 19. That's Jamie Robbins heading to the box for the Clippers. Second penalty called in the period. And the Avengers will get another chance to go and get themselves a power play goal. Clippers have been very disciplined up to this point. The Avengers have showed signs of some better discipline here in the start of the second half. And on the near side boards, it's taken in by Healy. Healy, it's taken away there by Christian Oliveira. Breakaway attempt, trying to regain the balance, and Shaniga makes a great save. And Oliveira, he knew he had a wide open lane. Put it dead center, unfortunately, with 1:37 left to go on the power play for EG. Caught the defense sleeping, and the PK caught itself a break off the back of Noah Shaniga. Timeout called on the ice. We'll take a timeout ourselves. Score 1-1. We'll be back after the break. The ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Ducks in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
The ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back.
And we welcome you back after the timeout break, as both sides had to talk things over with 1:37 left on this power play. Timeout called by the Avengers. And the Avengers need to get the puck out of their own end. Healy takes the face-off, giving it up to Joseph Andriozzi. Back to Healy. Healy trying to navigate around Sam Lopes, who had a great poke check in there. And now Sean Taylor. And the Clippers being pesky here, as Jacob Lopes going to have to retreat after it. Cumberland clearing the puck, and it's trapped down by Mike Healy. He'll take it again, and we'll repeat what we just said before, up to Joseph Andriozzi. Andriozzi, it's tipped in by the Clippers as Sonny Arsenault's trying to make haste. Under 1 minute in the penalty on the far side boards. It's flipped off by Chase Piscalis and sent the other way for Michael Tober. Back to Piscalis. Piscalis redirects. A nice deke. Giving it behind the net to Arsenault. Arsenault to Tober. Tober to Healy. Healy back to Tober. Tober displacing the puck. He'll take it around behind Johnson's cage. And Piscalis giving it off to Andriozzi. Under 30 seconds, 20 seconds to go. Andriozzi charging forward. Tober, it bounces off the defender. Another one coming at Johnson. And the puck's still loose. And it's poked back free. Play still ensuing. And right in front of Johnson again, the power play concludes. The Clippers avoid danger. And icing going to be the call as they'll experience some more pressure after that tough sequence. Clippers PK unit did its job. They prevented 0 damage. Or I should say they prevented any damage from occurring. 15 solid minutes to go in the second half. It's still all knotted up at 1. Troy Sen trying to chase after Lenny Kiernan, who sends it behind the back, and it's dumped in by Jamie Robbins. And flipped up ice. And sent back the opposite way. Trying to lead it towards the middle is Sen. Sen displaced the puck, and it's cleared back to center by John Kierman. McGill. The pass up front to Oliveira. Oliveira leading Sen a little too much, and icing gonna be the call on the floor one more time. Give you one last word from today's game sponsors. Today's game is brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For consultation, go to josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And by our elite recruits with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For high school athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by going to Our Elite Recruits. Visit www.oureliterecruits.com. It's time for more information. Nearly a chance for the Clippers to get set. Falling to the floor that time was Perrin, and it's dumped in by Piscalis. Lopes with the leading pass. It's given up to Oliveira. Oliveira trying to navigate around Timothy Madden. This one banging off the side of the cage. And this one rifled, but Oliveira bounced it off the defender. And it's dumped back in. Robbins trapped up against the boards. Trying to get it off to Oliveira. Arsenault include trying to poke the puck free. And Piscalis clears this one the opposite way. And icing. Once again, the call on the floor. 13:27 to go. And off the face-off, Clippers have it. Bounced off the defender, and it'll come back to center ice. McGill with the backhanded dump in. And a whistle called to stop play. It looked like an offsides. And the face-off back at neutral ice. Clippers dump it in off the face-off win. And sent back to center. Michael Tober. Tober having a man shadowing him. This one shot a little wide to the right. John Kiernan feeding it off to Tober, and McGill boxes him out for the puck. And it's eventually cleared back to center by McGill and dumped into the Avengers zone. Shaniga and the dump off. Lopes redirects, and he falls to the floor. And this one cleared one more time. Icing going to be the call. A lot of icing exchanges back and forth in the last 3 sequences we've witnessed. 12:40 to go, and we're still all knotted up. So the question is if we're going to head to an overtime period. And we'll face off. And a good chance, but it's poked away. Hunter Jones is trying to create some type of offense, and it's passed off that time. Clippers trying to get this puck further down ice. Tim Madden after it. Madden dumps it along the boards for Garrett Carney. And the starting 3 line and the third line is out for both sides here. Matt Madden trying to bring it back the opposite way. And couldn't get it out of the zone. Clippers keep it in, and a little bit of a wide shot to the right was Hunter Jones. And to bring it up, Garrett Carney. Poked away by Jacob Lopes over that time to Hunter Jones, and it's dumped in. Shaniga stops the puck behind the net. Chance right in front, Lopes, and this one over the top. Not a lot of shots on net in this half. But a chance here. Oliviero rifling one down, bouncing off of Shaniga. And a chance right in front. Ooh, a hard check from Jacob Lopes onto Nicholas Regnante. And the Clippers keep the play alive. But the Avengers swallow that one up. Taken behind the back of Chase Piscalis. And he let it a little bit too much. Gets some help from Andriozzi. Andriozzi, it bounces off the side of the net. And the Clippers come up with the puck. At center, Kiernan. Giving it off to Andriozzi. It's poked away from Healy. And Oliveira giving it off that time to Robbins. And it's taken away at center by Piscalis. About under 10 minutes. We're still all knotted up at 1 apiece in game 2, and Shaniga misjudged the direction of the puck as he left the whole side of the net exposed. Not even just a side of it. And now here comes Tober. Michael Tober. And couldn't set up Arsenal in the slot. He set up the crosser, but no one there to execute it. Back to center. Hard play. The Avengers start up from scratch. Tober poked away. Great poke check from Jamie Robbins. And Sen will dump this into the Avengers zone with under 10 minutes to go. On the near side. And it's dumped in by the Clippers. Shaniga traps it down as the Clippers get a change. Sam Lopes traps it down, a one-on-one, and the puck, and it just deflected away. As Shaniga found some trouble there. His defenders clamping down hard at the right time. And this puck will come back to center ice. Arsenal rifling one at Johnson, and a glove save. Ponagansett to take on Moses Brown after this one. Be sure to tune into that game right here on Fans Only Sports Network. That'll end off our day here of day 1 at Levy Ice Rink. But Sean Taylor trying to bring this puck uphill. This shot a little wide to the left, and it's dumped back in. Still in play. Wrapped around the backside by Dorley. Trapped down by McGill on the far side boards. This one going behind Shaniga. Lopes, another crosser set up. No extension being allowed by the Avengers and the Clippers. McGill sends another one off of Shaniga. Lopes trying to keep the play alive. Flips it behind the back to Collette. Collette looking for a man, gives it to Lopes. Lopes to Collette. Collette coming around back to the near side. Over to Jacob Lopes. Rifles the shot under the legs of Sam Lopes. McGill sends another one down. This one a little wide to the left. Jacob Lopes poking the puck back in play to Sam. Sam Lopes. That time to Collette. Collette back to Sam Lopes off the one-timer. Wide to the left. Kicked in by the Skates. And the Avengers clear this one back the other way. Icing the call with 8:02. And we'll face off down in EG side of things. Sent behind the back of Madden, and he flips it off that time. Dumped away by Matt Madden. Johnson will go right on Johnson and flip back in the opposite direction. Piscalis can't keep the puck in the offensive zone, but Andriozzi can't dump it back in. And so they'll start from scratch. Matt Madden dumping the puck in. And a whistle called. They'll call it icing. So we'll face off again. And EG side of the ice, we're still all knotted up. Clippers look like they were knocking on the door moments ago. But EG's defense and goaltending just able to execute to perfection so far. Both sides really. Jacob Lopes dumping this one in and giving off to Matt Madden of East Greenwich. At center, Piscalis. Piscalis poke checked. And it's sent away by the Clippers. Madden navigating through center ice. Can't keep the stick in play. And Arsenal, he has to get back on side. And so, Sen tried to shuffle the pass forward, and it goes past Oliveira. Madden gives it over to Lenny Kiernan, and he's hit hard as Arsenal tries to dump it into the zone. John Kiernan. Kiernan with the shot off of Johnson's pads, and he'll deflect to the left. Taylor giving it off, that time to Robbins. Robbins with the crosser, and Shaniga fell to the floor. The puck was a little too high to be contested, to have any contest on it. And now given off to John Kiernan. Kiernan dumps it into the zone. It's called onside. Behind Oliveira, and it's given off to Robbins. Robbins through center, cuts back to the right side. He'll cut behind the backside of the net. Robbins checked hard into the far boards by several defenders. Here comes Oliveira trying to find the back door, and it's pulled away. Nearly slipped it past the skate, but Shaniga knowing the location of that puck. Oliveira, a nice movement. And Carney trying to get some separation there. And it's flipped back up past McGill. Back through center into Cumberland side of the ice. Onside as line changes were coming for both ends. And coming back to center. Regnante couldn't dump that one back in. It's given off here to Taylor. Taylor, it's poked away by John Kiernan and dumped into the zone. Jacob Lopes. And now dumped in by Dunwoody. But Lopes comes up with it, giving it to Sam, his brother. Sam Lopes at center ice. He'll cut back in and then patrol back up. Has Collette behind him. Poked away that time from Madden. But Lopes able to maintain possession of the puck, and it's caught on the skates of an EG defender. And Madden Able to push that one back up ice. McGill sending it downhill. Madden. That time taken away from Matt Collette. And the Avengers clear the puck back through center. They'll experience some more pressure with the icing call. 4:37 left to go. We are still all knotted up at 1 apiece. Final game should have started already, but we've had time issues, obviously, with the first 2 games, and this game potentially could go into extra time, overtime, if you may. So stick around for the conclusion of this one, as well as the rest here in day 1 of the Burrillville Holiday Classic. Flipped off to the far side to Perrin, and the Avengers can't pull the puck into the zone as Tober retreats with it. Flips it behind the back to Arsenal in front of the penalty box as he dumps it in. Andriozzi lazily skating it down as it's dumped away, that time by the Clippers. And a good chance, but it's nearly a breakaway attempt. So Matt Mann's going to have to shut that down, giving it off to Andriozzi. Andriozzi, great movement as he dumps it in. It was poked in by Tober, but the Clippers will bring it back around. Behind the net, dumped away by Madden, given off to Healy. Mike Healy being poked a whole lot that time by Robbins as he dumps it in. Healy trying to skate around Jacob Lopes. Trying to give PJ Casey and crew some opportunities. Casey, this one wide to the right. And it's dumped back in by Madden. Arsenal is going to wrap around the backside of the net. And Tim Madden trying to get on top of it. They poke away at it in front of the near side, and it's still in play. And the referees will call it dead. So a face-off to return with 3:07. .307 remaining in regulation. Score all knotted up at 1 apiece. Jacob Lopes sends it the opposite way. Good chance right in front of the net, and that time Kiernan couldn't get the extension he was asking for, but maybe some extension here now for Oliveira off of Shaniga, and a save. Sam Lopes flips it up to Oliveira. Now to chase it down is Dorley. And a whistle to call the play dead. Offsides. 2:40 left on the clock. And dumped in by Perron. Sent back up ice for Arsenal, and it's dumped back in from McGill. Madden wraps it around that time for Arsenal. Near side boards. This puck's kicked away from Lopes. Lopes trying to set up. That time it was Robbins. And Robbins can't find his extension. Behind Arsenault and kept in play by Perron. Perron being pesky at the blue line as Arsenault checks him into the boards. Healy can't poke it away from Lopes, and he's trying to get some help from Dorley. Lopes playing box checkout keep away this time. As we're really just wasting a lot of time here. No shots being taken on net whatsoever. On the near side. Taken away by Madden. Sends it around the backside for Arsenault. And back at center for Pascalis. Sending one right at Johnson. And Perron has it. Flip back through center. Madden going to have to chase it down. With Jamie Robbins hot on his tracks. And flipped around the back. Mislocating it was Tober as the puck was displaced. And back on the near side. Madden being pushed around by the 17 of Troy. Sen. No, don't know why I had the pause there and there. And now bringing it back up is Tober. Mike Tober can't dump it into the zone. Somehow still maintains possession. Tober trying to get around everyone. And Sen nearly clears it away. The referee stepping in the puck's way that time. And McGill. Now Kiernan. Kiernan gets it over to Andriozzi. It hits off of Johnson. And the chance misses on the one-timer. EG, only 25 seconds left to go. A good chance to potentially take the win. However, it's another chance for the Clippers. Sen trying to navigate around defenders. Collette can't get any help as he's checked into the boards. Sen up against the boards. And they stop the game with 0.8 seconds remaining. And I don't know if we head into an overtime period. And offsides was the call. And that'll end things here. Score sits at 1 apiece. As we are going to enter overtime. So we'll take a quick break while we let everybody get set up. You're watching Fans Only Sports Network. In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Oh, Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
In, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Oh, Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
In, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score!
And we welcome you back for the start of overtime here in Game 2 of 9 in the Burrillville Holiday Classic between the East Greenwich Avengers and the Cumberland Clippers. Scores knotted up at 1 apiece as we hit the first overtime game of the Holiday Classic, and we'll face off back at center. It's going to be a 3-on-3 overtime period. Jacob Lopes giving it off to Sam Lopes. Back to Jacob. Jacob, that time up to Robbins. Behind the net. Healy to flip it behind the back. Andriozzi trying to get ahead of Robbins. Healy boxing him out, and Andriozzi with Lopes in pursuit. Andriozzi has to redirect. He'll give it off to Healy. Healy cuts back inside, has Arsenault in front. Both Lopes brothers on his tail, and sending it behind the back for Arsenault. Arsenault, great movement on the floor. Arsenault lets the puck sit a bit, has a good pass to Andriozzi at the slot, the shot off of Johnson. And Lopes. It'll be taken back in by Healy, kept in the zone. Healy sends one a little wide to the left. Arsenault. And it gets past Andriozzi. Avengers have to get back on side. Under 4 minutes to go, and Robbins gets the puck off at the defensive poke. Across, and Shaniga with the save. 3:44 left to go in overtime. And Avengers take the face-off win. But the Clippers get it at center. It's dumped in by McGill off of Shaniga, and he'll dump it off there for Tober. Mike Tober trying to get around that time. It was Oliveira. Breakaway chance for Sen. Wraps it in for the Cumberland Clippers score and overtime win. Troy Sen with the game-winning goal. A great breakaway chance, and Troy Sen took full advantage to bring it right in front of Shaniga with the shot on the left side, the stick side of the goaltender. And Cumberland walks away with a 2-1 overtime victory here in Game 2 of the Burrillville Holiday Classic. Thank you all for tuning into the game. We'll catch you all on game number 3 in just a few minutes between Moses Brown and Ponagansett to wrap up tonight. More hockey to come here on Fans Only Sports Network. We thank you all for tuning into tonight's game, and we'll be back for the next one.